All right, we are back here on the Just End the Suffering podcast, the summer pop culture special here, talking Stranger Things, Volume 1, episodes 1 through 4. Join me today for probably one of the biggest pop culture events of the year. Our pop culture correspondent, Sam Derosa, is here. Sam, how are you?
I am doing fantastic. How are you?
Doing very good. I got to say, I am glad that we started this. I'm glad season 4 so far to me has lived up to the hype.
Yes, and I'm so excited to finish off the season. I am patiently waiting. I still have everything blocked on social media, so I'm excited.
I haven't had that problem as much as I feel because I have so many Star Wars things. My feed blows up on anything Star Wars. So when it came out last Friday, Kenobi came out at midnight because they dropped it early. So I got to watch Kenobi. I'm not getting spoiled because my feed will blow it up at how much Star Wars stuff I look at.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I've been overwhelmed with more Star Wars things as well, but I still have a few of those people I follow who are a little too eager to share their opinions and ideas.
Yeah, absolutely. Before we get to the Stranger Things, what do you think of Obi-Wan Kenobi?
I really liked it. I was a little skeptical because I was worried. But the first 2 episodes, I feel like were good builders. I was not expecting, seeing little Princess Leia and everything. I just wasn't expecting that. So that was nice. I kept myself pretty in the dark about anything Kenobi related. So I'm just very excited to see how this is going to go. Very excited.
Yeah, and we said this on the Sky Guys too. I'm sure you agree with this. They nailed young Leia. Like the actors they got, she's in Bird Box most famously. She nailed that character.
Yeah, I mean, to a T. I was so weird. I was getting chills.
Yeah, I will say, great character from her. Flea, not so much.
Yeah, I mean, he must have made a deal with Disney somehow. That's my guess. I was like, is that the guy from the Red Hot Chili Peppers? I was like, no. And then I looked it up when you said something. I was like, yeah, you're right. Jeez.
Yeah, because I thought it was, and I saw the credits. They put Flea. I'm like, oh wow, they actually did get Flea to do this show.
Which is so random, but maybe he's trying to move on from music.
Well, I mean, they have had some random cameos in these shows where, I mean, Thundercat was in Book of Boba Fett for a couple of episodes too. So
yeah, that is true.
Yeah. Enough about Thundercat though. If you want the Star Wars stuff, you can go to the Sky Guys this week. We did the whole premiere. We did about hour 40 on that, and what's going on celebration. So that's coming up here. But you understand here what we're doing for Stranger Things here, because Netflix decided to change up the format because we agreed to this. Okay, I figured 5 episodes here, 4 in July is great. And Netflix says we're dropping 7, and they're all going to be at least an hour long. So Sam and I had a little huddle. We said, okay, we cannot do all 7 on that quick a turnaround here. At least I can't because I have too much going on. So we're going to do 4 today. We're supposed to do 3. Sam says we do 4, which I am thankful for her for making that suggestion. And we are doing the other 3 on the regular Just End the Suffering podcast next week in the 2-minute drill spot. So 4 this week, 3 next week. If you want to stay with us now, you have to watch at least through episode 4 without risk of being spoiled.
I mean, it's a perfect spot to stop, and watch. So, I mean, I think we're viewing it correctly.
Yeah, I think we are viewing it correctly. Although I wish with this stuff, especially considering on Twitter, all the hashtags are Stranger Things and everything is basically out there by now. It's I wish that they would sort of follow the model of some of these other shows and do it weekly at least, because considering they're having problems with getting subscribers to stay, this does not seem like the correct model for them.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I was just from these episodes, not going into detail at all, I just wanted to watch the whole thing. It was hard enough for me to stop at 4. I just like that kind of format. But for subscribers, I think Netflix is playing around with a lot of things right now.
I mean, they're not opposed to doing weekly drops. I mean, they drop the Circle weekly. They do 4 at a time, which I think is a little weird, but okay. And I think this one, the amount of buzz it gets, the thing I don't understand is they do the buzz and then I get they split it this time, but they have a buzz for maybe a week. Then it's gonna be gone until about 3 days before the next one comes out. Then they're gonna have a week, it's gone again.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. I don't know that much about Netflix and scheduling, but it was a lot. That was a lot of television for us. That's a lot of television for anyone. And yeah. I love watching, mindlessly on television, but you have to pay attention in the show.
Oh yeah.
So it's you're watching 7+ hours of television because they're all over an hour.
Yeah, I think they said the runtime of the whole season is about 13, 14 hours, something like that.
That's so insane. I guess they just want to go out with a bang, huh?
Yeah, I mean, if you've watched these, at least seen the runtimes here, the first episode I think is like an hour 16, an hour 15. The third is the shortest one of the whole batch, is an hour 3. It's an hour 19 for episode 4, is where we left off. I didn't look at 5 and 6. I know episode 7, which is the first end of the batch here, we'll talk about next week, hour 38 minutes.
It's gonna be like a whole movie, that episode.
You think that's a movie? Wait till the finale. In volume 2, they have 2. So I think the 8th episode I think is an hour 25 minutes, and episode 9 is 2 hours and 30 minutes.
No way. That I don't even know. Like I am so excited. I'm just so excited because I don't know what's gonna happen at the end of this like batch of episodes. But like, what the hell are they gonna do for the last 2?
I gotta say, I was curious at the runtime when it started. It was like, okay, these seem long. Have you heard of editing? Like, is a process of, maybe it should have been a whole separate season, but having watched the episodes with how big the cast is, I don't feel like there's many wasted minutes in there. I feel like they've done a good job sort of servicing everyone's story.
Yeah, exactly. And on top of that, like, it didn't feel like over an hour, sometimes because I'm like, oh, this is going to be forever. I feel like I'm going to want to fast forward or something or take a break. And then I'm like, oh, it's done. Like, it's finished already. Like, so I was like entertained the whole time, which is hard to keep my attention. Fun fact, on any television shows.
Yeah, because like there are some times when I watch shows where I'm sitting there, I look at the runtime, see like 57, like 59, like why? Like, have you heard of editing? And then like this one I saw the runtime is very skeptical, and I think it's again a function of just they have so many characters across all these plots that they're trying to service, and like I don't really think anybody's gotten short shrift thus far in terms of the actual what we've seen at this point.
No, and I think all the storylines are given an appropriate timeline as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So, general thoughts on what we've seen so far, episodes 1 to 3.
General thoughts so far is it's really awesome. I'm having a lovely time. Did you feel like everybody got so old looking?
Yeah, I mean, they all the kids shot up, especially like I think Lucas particularly like really grew, I think like 4 or 5 inches from the last time we saw him.
Oh my god, like, and everyone looks so old. Not going too far ahead of things, but like in some of like the flashbacks or whatever, just like they look so young just in like last season. And then now I'm like, holy crap, these kids are adults.
Yeah, I also noticed that we talked offline about how the budget for this thing is supposedly $30 million an episode, which I was sitting there wondering, okay, how are they going to spend this money? Like, that was the running gag of mine, like how they spend the money in these episodes. And then you see, obviously, factor in that everybody in the cast makes a lot of money now because they had to pay all these people to stay. And then the CGI, the special effects, like the rights, like it all adds up. But looks like a very crisp progress. No, like She-Hulk glaring trailer, like shortfalls with the CGI.
Yeah. And it's like, were you scared at all the first like 2 episodes? I was like a little like spooked.
I gotta say I put it at the top of the podcast. I'll play it again here. The good old spoiler warning here for people who have not somehow stumbled about 10 minutes in this conversation without seeing the episodes yet. Those first couple of deaths we get, those are probably some of the most gruesome we've seen on this show.
Yeah, like I started this at night. I watched Star Wars first. I watched Kenobi first because it was like, okay, watch Kenobi first, like not just to get it out of the way or anything, but just like so you could focus on Stranger Things. And it's late at night, Friday night. I'm like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Like I was like, like I had to watch. I had to stay up and watch something else. Like I was so spooked.
Yeah, you know what my palate cleanser is after a Stranger Things episode right now?
What is it?
The floor is lava.
The floor is. Wait, did they come out with new episodes?
New episodes are coming on Friday.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a great palate cleanser.
Yeah,
I'll save that for for the last couple episodes.
Yeah, that's my palate cleanser. But like the deaths, especially I think like of the cheerleader Chrissy and the kid who works in the newspaper with Nancy. The kid's name is Fred. Like, and you see basically like levitating in the air, all their bones are snapping in the wrong directions, and they're like eyeballs being gouged out. It's like, man, it's got dark.
Yeah, real dark, really fast. Like it really got like the first episode, and when she's hallucinating, like when she sees those visions, like that was scary too.
Yeah, like
it was psychological.
Yeah, it's a very different levels of horror with this show right now. There's like 3 or 4 different tiers of like horror storylines going on, which I like.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. Also, I feel like the best way to approach is sort of like look at I think there's three main storylines going on right now, and I think one is clearly worse than the other two.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which one's worse for you?
I think the Hopper storyline is like very, very poor compared to the other two storylines.
Exactly. And it's just like it feels very redundant.
Yeah, I think it's the exact same trio we had last year where it was Hopper, Murray, and Joyce
Joyce.
trying like all in the same storyline where Joyce and Murray are trying to help Hopper out. Hopper is still in prison at this point, 4 episodes in. He had a plan with a corrupt Russian prison guard to get out of prison. The prison guard's associate turns on him, and apparently he's talking about like trading Joyce and Murray to the Russians to get more money. It's like I feel like this one I feel like could have been an email.
Yeah. I just feel like he could have been gone already. I guess I don't understand USSR, the USSR and like the prison stuff and whatever. But like I feel like it could have been resolved quicker. Like, yeah. Since he's still in prison, like why isn't he not out like halfway through the season?
Yeah. Because we're just about to hit the halfway point when we pick up again here. And 4 episodes in, he's still in the same spot, and it looks like they're going to be bringing Joyce and Murray to him to continue that storyline, which to me is like again, just taking us further away from the most interesting stuff, the adults.
Exactly, but glad to see Murray. Love Murray. There's something about him that makes me laugh every time. Like I love Winona Ryder, don't get me wrong, but like I just think he's so funny. Yeah. Just something about him.
Were you a big fan of his risotto?
Oh yeah, I know, right? The whole, and then again, going back to like the kids growing up, what's his face, Jonathan, and whatever his name is, Argyle.
Yep.
That whole like smoking pot thing, like, and they're just like shoving the risotto down. It was funny. Like, it's just a little more adult themes this time around, which is kind of, funny for us.
Yeah, that's their storyline pretty much. You can do that like an email. It's like Hopper's trying to get out. He's trying to get help. He's not getting much. He gets double crossed. The guard gets arrested too. So like,
yeah.
Do you think we get him out of Russia before the end of the first batch or no?
He better get out of Russia in the first batch. That's all I'm saying. I'm gonna be annoyed if he's still there. Like, they better not kill him off. Like, that's what I'm worried about, to be honest with you.
Because for a show with this many characters, like you don't get many main character deaths on
I know, and that's what I'm worried about because it's the last season,
Second to last. They have one more still.
Oh, we're doing season 5? I thought this was it.
Nope, season 5. This is the last season.
Oh, well, okay. So I'm not as worried now. You just took a whole weight off my shoulders. Why did I think this was the last one? Is it because it's just so grand and there's so many like hours worth of Stranger Things season 4 compared to like everything the last 3 seasons?
Yeah, I mean, we still have, I think, about like maybe 3.5 hours in this volume still to go.
Yeah.
Maybe closer to 4.
Yeah, it's a lot. Like I can't even like, after watching season 4, I can see one storyline where that's going. But other than that, like I have no idea.
Yeah, I think the other storyline, I think it's more interesting to me is the 11 storyline where like we saw the end of season 3, she goes with the buyers over to California. She and Will are in a school or in high school over there. She's not getting along with like a couple of her classmates, including like the HBIC Angela, who makes out to insult her. She gets in a fight with Angela and smacks her at a roller skating rink with a skate and basically busts her nose open.
Yeah.
And we find out later on that like she gets arrested for it, but she gets bailed out by good old Dr. Owens from season 2, who is recruiting her to basically restore her powers, try and have her become a superhero again. And she was not in episode 4. I feel like we're gonna touch back on that soon, but I do think it was interesting to see Ellsworth pick up the piece without Hopper and without her powers. Yeah,
so I'm very interested to see what he truly means by that. Because like the adults have been like, the bad guys throughout this entire, show, basically. It's like adults can't really be trusted or to do their job. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like Dr. Owens is one of the few exceptions.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. I'm just so worried. Yeah. I'm worried about that one. But that California storyline, like I started getting like, itching to like do something. So I'm hoping that in this second half, it's going to like explode or hopefully not just stay and do nothing. But
Yeah, I mean, as far last we saw most of these characters, I mean, Will was out there, and like, I think they're kind of hinting that he's gay, and we haven't like.
No, I was just gonna say that. I was like, I think I was gonna say, did you get like the he's trying to come out
Yeah,
like to his friends and stuff?
yeah, because I mean, you get the hints from the opening letter that Eleven writes to Mike, because he's saying, "Oh, like I think Will likes someone," and then you see like one of like his female players trying to get his attention. He's really not interested, so like you're kind of getting the sense that like he's trying to like come out, but like he hasn't found the right vehicle to do it yet.
Yeah. Plus, he's so cute. I was like, his little tucked in shirt. I was like, Will's so cute. Like this entire time, like that's what I've been saying during that whole entire storyline. And how annoying Jonathan is. Has he always been annoying?
I feel like he has his ups and downs. Right now, Jonathan basically his storyline is like he's separated from Nancy. He's become a stoner with his buddy Argyle and works at a pizza joint. And like he is apparently like not sure he's gonna go to the same college as Nancy, and like he's applying to a JUCOs in the area because he doesn't want to leave his family. So like there's some stuff I think it's gonna get brought up like when and the two groups inevitably meet up again.
Yeah, I'm thinking like I don't know, like maybe they're just secretly broken up, the both of them, and they just don't want to admit it to anybody. I feel like it's like sketchy vibes.
It is pretty sketchy, and we have Mike now in that storyline too. As he flew out to see Elle on spring break.
Mike is so annoying. He's one of my least favorite characters. Like he's been important. He's been like super important the entire time, but he's been so annoying the entire time.
I feel like Mike really, I think starting in season 3 became a douche.
Yeah, he did. I mean, like Dustin's been the same. Like that's why I love that character. I love Dustin. He's one of my all-time favorites.
Yeah, I feel especially like the way he treats Will like in there, and Will thinks about points like, like you write to Elle like every week and I never hear from you. I'm like, weren't we best friends? And like, I feel bad for Will at that moment.
Yeah, first off, Will gets stuck in the upside down. Like literally in the first season, the poor guy is like fighting for his life. And then he has PTSD and his friends are kind of like assholes to him about like, it's fine. You're fine, Will. You know what I mean? Like poor Will's been getting the short stick this entire series.
Yeah, I think of all the characters in the main cast this season, apart from maybe Erica Sinclair, I feel he's gotten the least like meaningful like screen time.
Yeah. I'm mad there's not as much Erica.
I think she works well. She's worked well in the spot she showed up in so far.
Yeah, no, I was so excited when she was there. I was like, yes, Erica, finally. Like she was such like a breakout star from last season. And when you don't have her until like what episode like 3 did she show up in? Was it 2?
No, she was in 1. She was a replacement for Lucas when he couldn't go to the D&D campaign. He was playing in the championship game.
Oh yeah. See, this is what happens when you throw on all this hours of footage on my brain's like trying to process and stick up the timeline here.
Yeah, though it does look like now that they're all going back to Hawkins with Argyle in tow. So that's gonna be fun to see them meet up and see Argyle get his first look at how crazy Hawkins is.
Yeah, I really do like Argyle. He's weird, but he's a very likable character.
He is. Let's go down to the Hawkins storyline here, which you got a lot of stuff with all the kids in high school. Sort of have like Lucas trying to be popular. He's on the basketball team. It's the game-winning shot in the championship game. We see that Dustin and Mike are in the Dungeons and Dragons club with the new guy Eddie, who runs the club. We see Max sort of isolate herself from the group like after her brother died in season 3. So there's a lot of stuff going on here.
Yeah, and then also Steve and Robin are working at the video store together, which is hilarious.
And Nancy's doing stuff with the school newspaper. It's really all.
Still, I thought she was like graduated already. Like I don't know what it is with my brain. I'm like, Nancy, what are you still doing in high school?
Yeah, I thought she graduated too. I was like shocked she's still there.
Right? I guess Steve was just a year older than them. I think that's just how it was. But like in my mind, I thought they were all the same age. But this has been my favorite storyline out of all 3.
Yeah, there's all sorts of angles to it. I like it too. I mean, like the Max angles where he sort of left off episode 4, where she starts having the same like creepy like visions and like living nightmares that the 2 murder victims had, and she's trying to escape the demon Vecna, which is a really, really, really cool villain.
He is evil and psychological. Like, and he just like he's equal parts like gets in your head, like like as you saw like in episode 4 when they were like going through and you can see who he targets specifically, like people who have headaches and all that stuff, can't sleep, nightmares, suffered trauma basically. And it was just like, wow, this guy is mean. He is not nice.
Yeah, and if I am the basketball player who starts having the nosebleeds, I'm not feeling good about my future in the show. I feel like he's gonna be a murder victim.
Yeah, well, I know it's a little nerve wracking, but
Yeah, the drama I think also goes that the first murder victim is Chrissy, the head cheerleader, dating the captain of Lucas's basketball team,
mhm.
and the guy, I think she was actually talking to Eddie, like and trying to get drugs from him and try and deal with the craziness she was seeing at that point. And then
Yeah.
at that point, Eddie ends up being there when she gets killed. Basically, gets accused of murder, has to go into hiding with help from Dustin and his crew, which I think was a lot of fun seeing that group work together. And then Nancy quickly ends up joining them. So like that, at least it started bringing the elements together a little quickly there.
Yeah, and then going back to the whole Nancy Jonathan breakup thing, like when she sees Steve and stuff, like it's like this cute little, reunion that they have, which was like really cute because everybody hated Steve, and then he was so cool after season 1, and
Yeah, and Dustin called us out in the show too. He's like, Steve, you still like Nancy.
yeah, it's so cute.
Yeah.
Oh my god, but I just really love this storyline. I don't know what it is about it. It gives a little bit of like Haunting of Hill House, a little bit of what's the not Exorcist, Jesus. It's the one with all the ghosts. What?
The Shining.
The Shining. Yeah, there's like a bunch of different like horror things in there. It's like I'm very excited. Like they keep taking little pieces of everything. It's really cool.
Yeah, I don't think it's interesting. Also, we started out anyway seeing like all these kids start going in their own separate directions, especially Lucas. Is like I felt bad for him because like he said, I'm like, I'm tired of being bullied. I want to be popular. If I get to be on the basketball team and I'm in with them, you guys are in. And then like Mike and Dustin, they're like, we don't care if we're popular. Like we're nerds. Like we accept ourselves. Lucas is
I know.
more than that.
Yeah, they give a lot of there's a lot of like, how like the 80s were known for like the like motifs and stuff,
Yeah.
like like Teen Wolf, Breakfast Club, 16 Candles. It all had those like specific storylines. I feel like they're all like shoving it in to each character gets their own little motif kind of deal, which is I think really interesting.
Yeah, I like following Max's storyline too, where Max are trying to process like what happened in that season where Billy dies and like she's broken up with Lucas and she's keeping to herself. She's not really she's sort of like in the friend group, but passively in the friend group, where she's not like actively participating in a lot of things. She ends up getting drawn back in when like she thinks that she's the next to die from the Vecna curse, and the investigation that the group does manages to save her. So like that would surprise me a bit because like I was convinced that like this show is going to take a big swing and kill off one of the kids. I figure like Max is the easy one to kill because she not one of the original kids, and like it affects a lot of people emotionally if it happens. So I thought they were going to do that. I was surprised it didn't.
I really thought at the end when everything's falling and hits black, I was like, oh my god, she's gone. Like they were just going to end it or something crazy, and then like she drops down. But like that whole sequence and the whole talking about it and her like going back thinking of like love and everything, and like love from friendships and from like Lucas and everything, like just having that happiness feeling like saved her kind of deal with music, like I truly believe it wasn't the music that saved her. It was like those thoughts towards the end. But I just thought that was very like smartly done. I know that's a bad way to phrase that, but it doesn't sound too smart to me saying smartly done, but I thought that was done very well.
Yeah, and believe it or not, like the song that she listens to in that show, "Run Up That Hill" with "Deal with God" by Kate Bush, it's now #1 on iTunes.
See, I only know that song done by Placebo because I heard that song the first time in the TV show Bones.
Yeah.
And then I remember listening to Kate Bush's version. So I really like that song too. And I was like crying. I was like, I love this song. Like, like I was so sad. I was like, please don't kill Max. Like, it was so nerve-wracking.
Yeah, it was pretty nerve-wracking. This storyline also gave us one of my favorite things of the season, which was we end up having the group of Max, Dustin, Steve, Nancy, and Robin. And then we end up pairing Nancy and Robin together for a lot of investigations. So it was so fun because Robin was clearly getting on Nancy's nerves the whole time, but at the end she started to accept her. I thought that was fun.
Yeah, no, I love like Rob, like from last season, Robin was like my all-time favorite character. And oh my god, she's still my fave. She's so funny. I see a lot of myself in Robin, like the consistent talking and like the never ending. It's just like I can't stop. Like It's just so cute. Like, I think she's a great addition to like the group.
Yeah, and I love also that she sort of plays off Nancy's at a very straight edge, like I'm gonna say reasons here. Robin has the emotional plea when they're trying to con their way into a mental institution to talk to Victor Creel, who was one of the first victims of Vecna, the demon they're trying to fight. Like Nancy tries to go, oh, the cover story, like, oh, we're grad students, we're students in Notre Dame, we're going for our thesis, and she kind of very blasé sells it, and the director is not buying it. Then Robin just adds all this detail, goes to a big emotional storyline, and gets the director to cave. I'm like, that's awesome.
Dude, that was such a great monologue that she had. It was perfectly done. And it's like they play off each other great. So like, Robin helped them get out of that situation. And then Nancy's like, okay, now run. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like the different ideas. Like they complement each other so well.
And I also thought it was funny how Robin talked earlier about how she was a very bad runner, and then they have her Maya Hawke running extremely awkwardly to the car. And I was like, this is great.
Oh my God, that's so funny. I love that she's just like, I can't run in these, when she just like walks out of the car, like stumbles in the shoes. It's so funny. That actress is amazing.
Yeah, Maya Hawke, so Ethan Hawke's daughter.
Yeah.
She has it in the blood with the genes from Ethan Hawke and Uma Thurman.
Yes, I was gonna say I thought Uma Thurman was her mom, but I couldn't remember.
Yeah, that's a great storyline, and I do think that even like this storyline, even there are moments like when the new characters interact with any of our established people there, like those still stand up pretty well.
Yeah, no, I think every character that they've introduced who's here to stay for a couple episodes complements the group so well. I really enjoy every character that they've been introducing.
Yeah, I also like what happened with Lucas, where Lucas has to decide, do I stick with the basketball guys? The basketball guys, like the cast of the basketball team is like dating Chrissy, who gets killed in the premiere. He thinks Eddie, the D&D club leader, has done it. So he recruits battle team as to go after Eddie. Lucas goes along initially and figures out what they're going to do and basically cons him and goes back to his friends at that point. Like, we knew it was going to happen. I thought it was nice for Lucas to at that moment realizing, like, I don't need these guys. I need to do the right thing.
Yeah, like I said, these 80s motifs that are coming out all throughout these first 4 episodes.
It's definitely fun also when Lucas figures out to just bring them all the way out to the old buyer's house to abandon them there and run back to the school. That was fun.
Yeah, God. See, I feel like Lucas is a very underestimated character. I think he's like one of the strongest guys in the group. Like, he's just more quiet.
Lucas had a good season so far.
Yeah, so far he's great.
Yeah, he is great. And we do sort of like get little bits of like Erica in the storyline where she shows up to take Lucas's place in the D&D game.
Mm-hmm.
She was so fun because I thought one of the most ridiculous things of that whole first 4 episode batch we watched was the really dramatically super long slow-mo when Lucas is taking the game-winning shot and she's rolling the dice to end the game of D&D. I'm like, I could have literally like walked my dog, come back, still been going.
I know, because I remember like sitting here, I'm like, okay. And I'm like, I moved over, I'm like, all right. And I'm like, when is this gonna end?
It felt like one of those like awkward Family Guy like gags that goes on by like 30 seconds too long.
Yeah.
I don't know if you watch the Family Guy like Star Wars parodies.
No, I don't. But
like, when I'll give you an example, Return of the Jedi one, they do the head nod thing when Luke like nods to R2. They play it out for about 60 seconds.
Oh, that's something, huh?
With different characters nodding back and forth at each other.
My God, I'll attempt to watch it. I'm not a huge Family Guy fan, but
I'll send you the YouTube version of that. Like, that was just so funny.
Oh my God, man, that's Seth MacFarlane.
Anything else you want to get into from the first 4 episodes we've watched thus far?
I would like to say that Dear Billy is one of my, it's on the top of my list of favorite episodes of any TV show I've seen, though.
Yeah, that was probably like the highlight of the season thus far. I'm glad you pushed me to include it in this batch and not start off the next one with it, because like it was a really fun, tight hour 15. We got, especially Max was the star of that hour.
Yeah, I think that we needed to see more from her, like I don't know. I just like the way that it was written, even with the other storylines within it. I think it flowed very well. But just that whole storyline with Max, I think, is one of my favorite storylines of all television.
Yeah. I do like that one. I also say I think Murray being the comic relief of the adult storyline is a much needed thing because like especially because Joyce is a kind of like a Debbie Downer also because she's like just trying to find Hopper back and like having Murray there helps.
Yes, though going back to episode 1 when she's breaking open the doll.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, slowly. And she just goes boom. And then it's just like she's, I don't know. I feel like Joyce is like a Debbie Downer, but I think she has her moments where I don't mind Joyce. You know what I mean? Like she's somebody who's like secretly like badass and secret, you know, and she's not secretly badass. She is badass. She like basically saved her son, or she did save her son, but like that whole thing was hilarious. Like she's pretty funny too.
She is definitely very funny. So who of the new characters? Like we got Argyle, we got the basketball guys, we got Eddie from the D&D club, we got the 2 characters who've been killed off so far, we got some of the Russian guys. Like who's your favorite new character?
New character is I'd like to say Argyle, but I think is Eddie.
Yeah.
I really like Eddie, and like that the sit down he had with Chrissy, talking about how like he's like, I don't know if you remember me, like, you know, like he's not this like crazy dramatic guy that you see in school. He's actually like a very like a hurt person deep down, and he's a sweet kid, you know.
Yeah, Eddie's
I think he's funny too. So
I like Eddie. Argyle is my personal favorite because I just laugh whenever he's on the screen because like he just really just has that vibe where he's like, I don't give an F what's going on. This is so fun. Like this is whatever. Especially like when they order the pizza to get him to be their getaway driver, and then he comes into basically a shootout where they're coming in. They all run to his car with like with the injured government agent. And he's like,
oh god,
he's like, is that blood? He's like, dry. It's like, oh yeah. And he just starts like he floors it.
Yeah, the guy, is that a real gun or whatever he says? Like, It's just, that was hilarious. I think I laughed for a solid. That actor is hilarious.
Yeah, it feels like he stumbled out of Wayne's World into this show.
Yeah, right. He feels like he came straight out of the 80s.
Yeah,
it's insane.
It absolutely is. Now, we're gonna steal a bit from the Sky Guys here, just for some fun here. So, who is your MVP of these first 4 episodes from Stranger Things?
MVP first 4 episodes, I gotta say Max, just for that whole Dear Billy thing and the arc that she's had in the first 4 episodes. I mean, like I know that there has to be more for her for the rest of the season, but I have to add one more. It's definitely Lucas. Yeah. He's been like a very quiet character the past couple of seasons, and I feel like he's really coming out of his shell. I think what they're doing with those 2 characters, because I know that they're really paired together, is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I'm gonna give Robin my MVP. I feel like Robin is like steals the show whenever she's on the screen. Her dynamic dance is probably the most fun I had in the season thus far.
My God, Robin's just amazing. She's awesome.
I don't want to mention the Murray Bauman because Murray is also saving the Hopper storyline.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly feel like if he wasn't on the screen for like a lot of those, like for that storyline, I would want to like literally fast through the entire thing.
All right, other way now. Who is the LEP of this first batch of 4 episodes?
That stupid, what's his face? The basketball player.
Oh, the captain of the basketball
team? He's so annoying. He's like, I have to avenge my girlfriend. It's just like, dude, you don't know anything, and you're just a giant 80s bully.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it to Mike.
Yeah, the douche.
He's such a douche to his best friend, and like like Will called on it too. It's like, you write to Elle every week, you never write to me. He's like, but she's my girlfriend, and he's not even realizing that. He's like basically saying like the kid was his best friend for years. Like he's basically throwing him under the bus for like a solid like 2 years.
Yeah, exactly. Stupid Mike. He's so annoying too.
Yeah, I mean, Tim Wolfhard plays it well. Like the character is like takes a very bad heel turn after like season 2.
Yeah,
absolutely. And last thing here, any big predictions for the last 3 episodes?
Well, my prediction is they beat Venka or whatever. Maybe that's my hope. Maybe that will be for episodes 8 and 9. But prediction wise, I have no idea. I'm thinking my prediction is they're going to get Hopper out. Like, it's very basic predictions because I really feel like they're going to be throwing wrenches at us.
Yeah, I feel like the easy call is that Hopper is back in the USA by the end of the first volume.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if he's still in Rush after 7 episodes, I feel like something's gone wrong.
Exactly. But
Yeah.
I'm just like, I really like, that's the thing with this show. I feel like you can like guess, and then all of a sudden, like, they're like, oh wait, but we're gonna tie this in, or we're gonna bring this person in. It's just gonna like throw everything off, you know?
I'm gonna say also, I think we get a big death to end episode 7. It sort of sets up for the cliffhanger for the final 2 episodes.
I hope, I see, no offense, I hope you're wrong. I don't want anybody to die.
That's the Bob Newby spot from season 2, like right around there.
No, Bob. That was so sad. Still upset, Sean Austin.
Yeah, one of the few characters who actually die on the show is him.
Yeah. I mean, I'm like, I would be really, I know that he's dead, but I would want Billy to come back low key because I feel so bad. I know it's not going to happen, but like, you know what I mean?
Well, we did get a very creepy Dacre Montgomery performance as Vecna basically possessing him in like episode 4.
Yeah. Like I said, that guy is psychotic. Is insane. He's like a really dark villain. It's like insane.
It absolutely is. And Sam, I'm glad you're coming back next week to help break down the rest of this, because it was just simply too many hours on a holiday weekend. I also had to do Sky Guys to Kenobi to get the entire first batch done. So appreciate you taking the time and halting your binge to help me get this first half done.
Listen, anything for you, Mike. I'm here for it.
Absolutely. If people want to follow you on Twitter, how can they do that?
Twitter, it's SDEROS6 at sorry, I'm like so used to like my other things, but that's on me on Twitter. You can just Google Sam Derosa. I will pop up on multiple things. If not, you'll find my dad, and he's equally as interesting as me.
Yeah, and if you're looking for a job at Iona Athletics, contact.
Yeah. Oh my God. I'm so sorry to laugh at that. Yeah. If you're looking to be an athletic trainer, tweet at my dad or tweet at Rick Pitino. That was something, Mike.
That was a fun tweet. I gotta say, I did enjoy that.
I literally was at work reading on Twitter. I'm like, are you serious? Yeah. And then I called my dad. I was like, I didn't realize you were so desperate that you're sending out like help wanted ads on Twitter.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll see if anybody takes that ad up in the week between these podcasts. Sam, thanks for all the time. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.